Hi there, I'm Andy Skinner and welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to focus on my new Something Special red rubber stamp. And we're going to be using the Cosmic Shimmer water-based inks. And I'm going to show you how you can actually stamp with the liquid ink. Okay, we're going to create some really cool backgrounds. So here's just a few examples for you. Okay, so without further ado, we'll pop down to the desktop and I'll show you how it's done. For this technique, we want an acetate sheet. You want to pop on a pair of protective gloves. Okay, then we need some antibacterial hand sanitizer. And we're going to squirt out, I'm going to do two colours, so we'll squirt out a couple of blobs of this. Then we're going to add some of the Cosmic Shimmer water-based ink. This is Raspberry Ripple. And I'm going to drop maybe 2 or 3 drops, depending on how strong you want the colour. Next colour I'm going to add is Tuscan Teal. And the same with this, 2 to 3 drops. There we go. The teal's a little bit stronger than the Raspberry Ripples. Now, with your gloves, you just want to massage this ink into the hand sanitizer, into the gel, and work out any little lumps that might form so it's nice and smooth. So you want to take your time with this, make sure you get all those lumps out. That's looking pretty good. So, start with the teal. Okay, so I'm just going to blend these two in slightly. So when the teal hits the raspberry, it's going to make a kind of a dark purple. Okay. So what we're going to do now is leave this to dry. And what's going to happen is the ethanol in the sanitizer will start to evaporate. And this will produce a thicker gel. So I'll come back to it in a couple of minutes and just see how it feels. Okay, let's give this a little test. Feels good. Okay, let's stamp. So I'm going to place the sheet of smooth white cardstock down. This is 300 GSM. To the side. Now we're going to use the Something Special stamp to begin with. There we go. Now, pat this. Let's check that it's going on the stamp. Okay. And then press down on your cardstock. Press firmly with this. And there you go. It's a clean stamp. Do another one here. So you'll see, if you look at the stamp, it's faded up from the blue up to the raspberry ripple to the top of his hair there. Now, the beauty of this, if you're doing things like backgrounds, and stamp multiple times. So this is my old seal stamp. And as an experiment, let's see how many stamps we can get out of this one stamp. And I'm just going to keep going until the gel kind of runs out. Let's try and pick up a bit more of that raspberry. There we go. That's nice. We got the raspberry fading down to the blue on that one. Okay, one more on this sheet. Okay, let's grab another sheet and I'm just going to keep going. So obviously we're just using the 2 colours here, but we've got 20 colours in this range. As I mentioned, it's great if you're doing a mixed media background or layering up with stamps. There we go. And even if this dries, let's say the phone goes, somebody at your door, you come back and if this is dried out, just squirt a little bit more hand sanitizer on it and you'll refresh it and it'll come back to life. Okay, the last one. So what's that? That's 10. We've already done 8, so that's 18 stamps so far. Let's continue. Okay, I think we're nearly there. Yeah. So there we go. There we go. 20, 24 stamps, I think, out of 6 drops of ink. Okay, let's clear this to the side. We don't want to waste this ink that's on the acetate. Move that to the side as well. Pop a clean sheet of paper down. Lay down the acetate ink side down. Just press firmly with your fingers. And there we go. Lift the acetate up. And there we go. We have a print from the acetate that we could use on a future project. Okay, so I'm going to use my Distress Mandela stamp to make a background for the something special stamp to go onto. Now, this is another alternative way to stamp with the ink. So I've got this sheet of paper here in the background just to protect the desktop. And with my spritzer with a marigold in it, just lightly spritz the stamp. Now, these misters have watered down the ink 50-50 with water. Okay, and now we're going to use the turquoise blue. Okay, and then just, again, lightly spritz. There we go. Now, I'm going to use mixed media card here. This is 350 GSM. Lower the stamp over the card and press down. This is going to give us a real nice kind of watercolor effect to the stamp. Let me hold it up to the camera. So this is going to be a background for our feature stamp, which would be the something special stamp. Okay, so we're going to do a second one and use 2 different colors. Just wipe off your stamp. Okay. Right. First color will be turquoise blue. Okay. And followed by marigold. Try to hold the mister at least sort of 10 inches away from the stamp. Right. Okay, lower the stamp down. Press firmly. And release. There we go. Hold it up to the camera. And a really nice blend of those 2 colors. Okay, I'll let that dry and then we can stamp. So I'm going to use the stamping platform for this. We're using the mixed media paper and it has a texture to it. So probably going to want to stamp this with the final stamp a couple of times. So just pop the magnets down. So just make sure the card's square. And then place something special stamp down, making sure it's nice and square. Okay, now for the sentiment, make sure it's the right way around. Okay. Okay, now the top down, press, pick up the stamp. Okay, just using the grid on the top plate to make sure I've got this stamp aligned nice and square. Okay. Right, I'm going to use black archival ink. This is jet black. And ink up the stamp. Okay. Bring it down, press firmly all over the stamp, including the sentiment. Release. Yeah, I'm going to ink the stamp again. As I said, it's mixed media card and it has a texture to it. So if you're going to use watercolor card or mixed media card, you really want to be using the stamp platform. Okay, we'll go for a second pass. Perfect. Now, just a bit of advice, really. If you're going to use this kind of method for a background when you're going to put a feature stamp on, make sure the ink is watered down. If I use this ink full strength, it would be too powerful and it would overwhelm the stamp that you're putting on the top. Okay, hold up to the camera. Now, here's the other one that we stamped with the turquoise and the marigold. Okay, you'll notice with this one on the corners, they're rounded. So I've just used this corner cutter and we do the corners on this one. Just finishes it off nicely. Yeah, these could be used for a card or tags. Yeah. There we go. Hold them up. Okay, a very simple technique, but it's quite effective. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next tutorial.